After many attempts, I was finally able to beat the Astro Bot Great Master Challenge. This is a step-by-step video about how I did this. On the screen, you will see footage of my actual run that I completed for this challenge. Let's follow along. Step 1. This step is quite simple. Once you spawn in, you will make 4 jumps across a triangle, circle, X, and square, in that order. On the square, there will be a launch pad that you need to jump on to launch yourself to the next step. Step 2. Once you land, you will come across 2 bell enemies. These enemies will send out flaming rings that will destroy you. So for this one, simply jump between the rings. They should both activate around the same time, so you can just continue forward while jumping like on the screen and you should be fine. Step 3. After step 2, you will immediately need to jump to the next circle, which has a launch pad on it. Jump or land on the launch pad to launch you high enough into the air to take you to the enemy on the next platform. The way to destroy said enemy is by using Astro's hover ability over the top of the enemy. The enemy is very prone to the hover lasers Astro gets when flying around. Step 4. Things get a bit harder here. After defeating the Step 3 enemy, you will come across a triangle platform with a bell on each side and a metal spring chicken in the middle. First, you must avoid the bell attacks just like in Step 2. Then lure the spring chicken into attacking you. When it charges up, jump and fly out of the way of the electric pulse that will be on the ground. Now, click square and pull on the chicken's wirings. By the time this has all went down, the bells have probably sent out a fire ring again. Make sure to avoid that. This is one step that if you don't take your time, it will be harder and more frustrating. Taking out the spring chicken should have revealed a launch pad. After dodging the second bell attack, jump onto it and make your way to the next platform. Step 5. This step is fairly simple in premise. As soon as you land, the glass will begin to shatter, so stay on the move. I personally went right here, but either way is fine. You will come across a launch pad to go to the next glass level. The bomb bots will attach to you, but focus first on the spike enemy, then getting onto the solid metal surface that holds the launch pad. When safe, if you would like to take your time, charge up a spin attack using square, either while moving or standing still, to fling off the enemies. If you stayed there a little too long, there may be a second spike enemy coming towards you. Simply hover over the enemy to take it out, or focus just on jumping to the third tier of this glass portion of the level. Step 6. Once on level 3, bomb bots will once again attach to you, but now there will be 3 spike enemies between you and your next platform. However, bomb bots take a few seconds to go off, so simply go around or over the spike enemies and land on the triangle. If you haven't already, charge your square spin attack and launch the bomb enemies off of Astro. Step 7. Now with the bombs off and all the time in the world, you will notice 2 enemies in front of you. An electric enemy with wires coming out of the top of it on your left and a purple blob on your right. The purple blob can shoot a goo ball at you, so while mostly safe, be sure to avoid those at all costs. The first enemy to set your sights on is the electric one to your left. Jump over to the circle and hover over the enemy. It should easily be taken care of by that. Next, avoid the impending purple blob's second attack. After this, it takes a second for it to recharge, so simply jump or hover to the X and take care of it. Step 8. There is quite a bit to these next few steps, but hang with me. A note before this section, for the next few steps, you're not going to have the opportunity to take a break, so now's your chance before jumping to the square launch pad. Now on the X, jump to the launch pad in the middle of the square. You will be launched to the ice platforms in the back. These will fall away if you stay on too long, but this section is a bit more about a quick set of movements and staying in motion. Now on the ice, go to the wall with the arrows on it and run up that. You will then come to a fire point that you must avoid by pressing X to jump to the other side of the wall. This is just a single tap of the X button. Run up the side until you see the opening at the top of the left side. Jump before hitting the second firewall at the top. You must hover over past the fire cannons that are now below you to get to the ice on the left side. Step 9. Once on the ice, you're going to want to move quickly to get off the ice. First, run up the arrow wall and punch the first blob. Here you will come across a moving wall. Simply stay on that, and you should run into 2 more purple blobs. Punch either one or both of those blobs. A quick note here, if you jump while on the wall, you will fall off, so make sure not to do a jump attack. A simple punch will do the job. Now past the second row of blobs, you will be brought right straight up, but you are now walking on glass again, so be sure to keep running. You should see a triangle not too far off into the distance. That will be your next step. Step 10. Now on the triangle, you are going to be faced by the lizard enemy. This enemy will shoot flame balls at you from a distance, so be careful. However, I've got the tricks right here. This enemy will shoot where you are at the time of the attack, so if you jump, you can usually just duck below the shots. Avoid the fireballs at all costs, so my advice here is to skip the circle altogether and go straight for the X. If you did this quickly, you will be under the range of the lizard for a few moments. Take this time to jump over to the right side of the enemy and destroy it. It may sound simple, but don't fret if it takes a couple of tries. Step 10.5. You can relax on the square for a moment if you need to get your bearings. Nothing will be trying to attack you where you are right now. When you're ready, quickly skate on the ice down towards the electric square. The electric balls on both sides do not go into the middle, so do not panic. Once towards the end, make sure to jump to the next ice platform. Here you will be met by 2 electric enemies. Simply hover over them and attack them both, and continue on to jump onto the solid square platform on your left. Once again, this part looks scarier than it actually is. No electric balls or lasers will get in your way, just those 2 enemies. Step 12. Now on the solid square platform, be sure to dodge the purple blob's attack. Quickly take it out with a punch at the first opportunity you get. Once the weight tilts again, you should see a launch pad. If you are ready, jump on top of the weight. If not, take a moment. It will tilt back over the launch pad, but it only does those 2 movements, so you will be safe here. Now that you are on top of the weight, jump to the next square platform and be sure to be ready to dodge and or attack the purple blob. This far in, I'd suggest taking your time and dodging it first, but you might be good if you are at a good pace. With that out of the way, you are going to rinse and repeat the launch pad and jumping on the weight. Step 13. From the weight, jump onto the ice platforms. Quickly make your way across. Again, those electric balls will not attack you, so don't worry and just make your way down the middle to the next enemy. Make sure to dodge the enemy's swing attack, and know that the chain will destroy you as much as the spiked end. Here, either hover attack this enemy or simply punch it twice. It does require 2 punches, so just be sure to remember that. 2 rapid punches after you land should do the trick if you timed your jump right after the chain passed by. Finally, turn left and make your way to the solid triangle in the middle of the electric box. Again, that box will not hurt you. Step 14. You are safe here if you need a rest. Step 15. Jump from triangle to spinning circle, then to spinning X, and finally to spinning square. You will need to do this at a quick pace. There is no time to stop on the spinning pieces for very long. Step 16. From the square, you will jump to the final obstacle groups, which starts with being on ice. There will be spiked bird enemies shot at you, first in the shape of an X. This one is fairly easy to avoid. Once able, jump onto the launch pad, and the next shape the birds will be shot out in is a triangle. This one, while harder, is still fairly easy to avoid. The ice doesn't fall away too fast, so you do have some time to go around. Next, the square. You must take your time with this one. Try landing on one ice platform at a time, just to give yourself more chances to jump through the squares. The square will rapid fire, so be prepared to do a lot of short movements. Trying to do this quickly won't end well unless you're incredibly good. There is also no grace period when you get close enough to the square. The X and the triangle had a safe area right at the end, but the square will go until you go through the square itself. Finally, jump on the launch pad again to make your way up to the circle portion. If you take this slow, 1 circle at a time, it should be fairly straightforward. You should be roughly moving 1 to 2 ice platforms max at a time. Once through, jump on the orange launch pad. This will send you to the infamous winner circle. Alright gamers, pat yourself on the back because this was definitely a hard level to beat. I hope this step-by-step guide was helpful to you. If it was, keep an eye out for the other comprehensive guide for the square objective level splashing sprint, my absolute mortal enemy in this game. If you enjoyed this, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more gaming videos of the comedic nature in the future. War Crimes out.